Hi, you have tuned into the Raging Aggron Channel, and I'm your host, Djingis. And I'm here with another draft recap from the PSL Season 2 draft, and today we're gonna go through the Jota Conference. First out in this video is the Gold Division, and tomorrow will be the Silver Division. Well, later today will be the Silver Division. And, well, maybe tomorrow, depends on if I decide to upload Gold Division today. I might do that, actually, if I have time. Silver Division will go up tomorrow no matter what. Tomorrow we've got Tuesday no matter what. I hate to pre-record sometimes. But yeah, we're gonna go through the Gold Division, and in the Gold Division you have me, yours truly, the Colorado Agrons, my team of course. Colorado Agrons, Milwaukee Marshadows, New England Patriots, and Chicago Cubones. The Chicago Cubones is of course Thorazak. Then we have New England Patriots, that is still Ian. And then the Milwaukee Marshadows is Levity's new team. He's no longer the Pittsburgh Steelix. Now he's the Milwaukee Marshadows. So it would be really fun. I really like this division. My team is first out, and I won't do too much talking about this. I've had a whole 46-minute video talking about this, so just make it really quick. My team has Zapdos, Amoonguss, Slowbro, Lucario, Aselgor, Sudowoodo, Mega Gardevoir, Hydreigon, Gengar, Darmanitan, Diggersby, Regice. I don't have too much else to say other than my speed tiers are kinda bad overall, but it's still pretty good speed tiers. Allows me to go both fast and slow. Doesn't have a lot in the middle though. That is a bit of a problem. Have good opportunity for priority moves. Also have some form of setup. Has okay ways to get rid of hazards. Doesn't have the best hazard setting opportunities either. Thanks to the Amoonguss Slowbro combination, I feel like I can take on a lot of teams. I have great wall breaking power between Hydreigon, Gengar, Darmanitan, and Mega Gardevoir. Also rocking Lucario there, just for some extra. And then I have some other monsters just to take some hits or to deal damage. That's about it. I'm not going to talk too much more about this. If you want to see more in-depth analysis of my team, I would suggest you go watch the 46-minute video. Because I go through more or less everything there. That's pretty easy as well to go through. But overall, I like my team. But I hope I can do well with it. I might not, but I mean, at the same time, I have good walls and I have good wall breakers, so I should be fine. Next up, we have the Milwaukee Marshadows, coached by Levity, the ABL Season 1 runner-up, and he missed playoffs by 1 point last season, and has played very well and has evolved a lot as a player. He's very good now. He went on a 5-0 losing streak in the PWL Season 1. And after that, he's hardly lost a game in any league he's been in. He's lost maybe 1/3 of the games. 1/3 or 1/5. 1/3 or 1/5, I think, of the game, something like that. Which is pretty respectable and really good in my opinion. His team is Kartana, Florges, Alolan Ninetales, Mandibuzz, Golurk, Bofalant, Mega Ampharos, Victini, Keldeo, Araquanid, Alolan Sandslash, and Lunatone. This team has very interesting speed tiers. I like them as much as I hate them. He has the fastest thing he has is base 109. The slowest thing he has is base 42. But in between there, he has webs with the Araquanid. But in between there, he doesn't have a lot of opportunity to actually outspeed things Barn Scoffers. He doesn't have the best form of setups when it comes to speed setup. He doesn't have the best form of taking advantage of speed either. The thing that talks good for him though is that he has the Hail with the Alolan Ninetales and can stop the Aurora Wheel, making his kind of frail team a bit bulkier. The big problem with this team, when you just look at it, is that it has some misbalances when you just look at it. Because you have the powerhouses with Kartana, Victini, and Keldeo. And then you have absolutely nothing. And then you have the walls with like Florges, Mandibuzz, and Golurk in some instance, and even Mega Ampharos. Like, that's pretty decent. But it's not the best. So I mean, this is a team that can do very well or do very bad. I look forward to see how well he plays with it, because it's a very interesting. It really is. The interesting thing here is that he has a team that can do both hail and not hail. He also has the opportunity to set up webs, but it doesn't have the best way to get rid of hazards. He only has defog. Now he has Rapid Spin and Lowland Sandslash, of course, and then he has defog on Mandibus and Florges and Kartana. But that's about it. And looking at this attack, sure, it hits like a truck most of his attack, but Kartana is physical, Golrak is physical, Buffalant is physical, Victini can be both physical and special, but tends to run physical in League, and the Lowland Sandslash is physical. His special attacking is Florges and Megampharos Keldeo. Nothing else on his team can do special attacking, which makes his team kinda slumped, really. Of course, Lunaton can do his special attacking Pokemon as well, but it makes his team kinda one-dimensional. Even if it's a good team on paper and can do... Well, it's a decent team on paper with very good offensive threatening Pokemons, and then a defensive core that does work, at least on paper and in calcs. But depending on how he plays with this team, he can do very, very well. I can see him doing some trades, but overall I feel like this is a very good team to start off the season with, and then make some changes later on. Because I think that he will need to do that, otherwise he won't go to playoffs. But that is my idea of it, at least. Then we have, next up, of course, then we have New England Patriots with Ian as the coach. Yeah, we have Kuron Black. Well, his team is Kuron Black, Magnezone, Delmise, Salazzle, Mudswell, Electivire, Megadiancy, Tapu Fini, Program 2, Reuniclus, Ariados, and Quagsire. Yes, he lost a bet to pick up Quagsire on his team, and he did. I mean, kudos to him, but it could be a bit problematic for him with Quagsire here. That is his only water type, which is a bit of a problem. It's his second ground type. So yeah, it can be a good way to defeat something with Quagsire, because Quagsire is pretty bulky, but at the same time it's not the best bulk to have, and we tend to call it unviable because it's not the best Pokemon, let's be real. But his offensive core is truly scary. Kuron Black and Megadiancy together with Magnemize, damn, that's scary. And then you have Program 2 Reuniclus core together with the Delmise. Whoo! Tapu Fini as well. Like, this is a very defensively good team. And then he has the wall-breaking power of Kuron Black and Megadiancy. That makes most team tremble in fear. Like, I don't think there's a single team that has a Pokemon that can switch into both Kuron Black and Megadiancy. It should be if you have a Chansey and Kuron Black doesn't have a single physical move. But let's be real, Kuron Black will have a physical move if you go up versus a Chansey. So this is a very hard team to predict where it stands, really. Hopefully it can do some good things, but it really depends on how Ian plays with it, how it preps, and if he decides to do something outside of the box. Because if he does things outside the box when it preps and so forth, and if he plays kind of aggressively with this team, that could work out in his favor, because you don't want to stay in too many times with Kuron Black. And if your opponent does that, you will lose so many mons in the process that it's not even worth it for you. So this is a team that will hit you so fucking hard that it's insane. It really is. But it's, at the same time, it has a lot of bulk to back up, and it also has a good variety of typings that can actually work pretty well on the same team. The speed tiers, though, are bad. Let's be. I'm just gonna say for me, they are pretty bad. They might be good for some other guys, but base 117 Salazzle is your fastest, and then you have Megadiancy in base 110, and then you're relying on Scarfers after that with Kuron Black, Electivire, and Tapu Fini. And Tapu Fini isn't really Scarfer. Electivire can be Scarfed, but yeah. And Kuron Black tends to be Scarfed most of the time as it is, unless it is your Sea Captain, of course. then you have a bit more of trouble choosing items for it, and it can still take hits. It's not that bad to have sea crystals on it, but if you have this scarf, you can actually outspeed things and deal so much damage without other Pokemon being able to outspeed it. The hazard options on this team is pretty limited. You have Stick Whips with Ariados, you have Toxic Spikes, you have Mudstails with Stealth Rocks, you have Salazzle with Toxic Spikes, I think. That's about it, and then you have a Defog in Tapu Fini, and you have Rapid Spin Dhelmise. That's it, you have nothing else. The good thing is that you have Mega Diancie, and I think Mega Diancie has Magic Bounce, which makes it a bit easier for him to fend off incoming hazard. But it's pretty bad at the same time to have that as your hazard counter, because Mega Diancie doesn't want to switch in too many times. And if you predict hazard too many times, you will get punished a lot. And Mega Diancie can't take too many hits. Even if it is a very bulky Pokemon, it can't take that many hits that it might need to do if you play that way with it. It's a very interesting team overall. They Electivire Magnezone to just have dual... You have a very big ground weakness overall with Magnezone, Salazzle, Electivire, Tapu Fini, Ariados. But at the same time, you have Mons that can eat up grass like Dhelmise, Porygon 2 of course, and Quagsire. So it's not that bad, but it could have been so much better overall. But it's an interesting team, and it can do very well in case Ian plays well with it, of course. Otherwise it's hard to have no matter how good of a team you have, if you play bad with it, the team is bad. And if Ian plays well with this team, this might be a very, very scary team to face. And no matter who you are and how good you are, or whatever team you have, really. So that's for Ian. Our last coach in this video is the Chicago Cubans and Thorsack. And this team is by far the most interesting one in this division, I would say. Here we have the Thunderous Eye, Tangrowth, Alomomola, Ribombee, Drapion, Glalie, Mega Aggron, Dragonite, Hawlucha, Magmortar, Mismagius, and Nidoking. This team has great speed tiers, has great hazard settings. Yeah, they have pretty good hazard setting with Mega Aggron, Drapion, Ribombee, Nidoking as well. It has pretty good ways to get rid of hazards in what is called well, it has Ribombee and it has Thunderous. I thought it had something else. Okay, it does not. Oh well, but it's the hazard setting is a problem, but when you look at it, it's not that. The only thing that is really weak to rocks is Dragonite, because you want the multi-scale intact to take hits. But at the same time, it's not that big of a deal for the rest of your team, and thanks to the Tangrowth Alomomola core, you can easily work around the Stealth Rocks on the team and survive long enough for it to actually be worth it. Worth it not having that hazard control. Mega Aggron is a Mega that is kind of interesting to use. Some of the time it works very, very well, some other time it works very, very bad. For me, I cannot use it at all. I know other coaches I've seen have used it so good, and it's not that's strange really. It does great attack and great defense, and you can do a lot of things with it actually, more than you actually think from the get-go. And having a Wish opportunity on this team with the Alomomola to Mega Aggron makes Aggron so much better as a Mega. But overall, this is a very scary team on paper, because it can do a tremendous amount of damage on the physical side and a tremendous amount of damage on the special side. It has great stabs, it has great scarf opportunities. The speed tiers are very hard to prepare for, unless you have the same speed tiers, better speed tiers. The only thing that I lack in this team is better Fairy type. Ribombee is not the best Fairy type, and that will be shown a lot throughout the season, I think. Then you also have the problem with having your Dragonite as a dragon, because, sure, it's quite weak to ice, and it's not the best physical speed tier for its physical attack and for its bulk. It can take hits pretty well, but after it loses its multi-scale, and you go for an attack, and you go Choice Band, which they almost have to go on Dragonite, well, most of the time you go that on Dragonite, you might have a bit of a problem. So I don't agree on having Dragonite as your dragon type. I'm not a fan of Dragonite, and that's of course my colored view on it and my point of view on it. So might not be the best to decide that. I think it's interesting to have Hawlucha on this team without a terrain setter. But it's pretty fast as it is, so, and it doesn't really need the boost. Of course, the physical defense boost is pretty nice, or the special defense boost is pretty nice to have on Hawlucha. But at the same time, it's an Hawlucha, you just SD up and you sweep things after you lose your item and go down to focus sash or whatever. Unless you're pro to an opposing team, Hawlucha just destroys you. So yeah, this is a quick rundown. Of course, Nidoking is one of the best. I just have to point this out. Nidoking is maybe the best Scarfer in this division. It's such a good Scarfer to have. And a lot of other things on this team makes it a bit more of a threat than it actually looks on paper. Thanks to having webs on this team, you might be in for a very hard team to face, because it has that bulk and it also has the opportunity to sweep you with setup sweepers that are way faster than you, especially off the webs. So really need to be careful prepping for this team and playing versus it, because you don't really know what will happen. But with that, let's see, who do I predict going through? From this group, I would say that it stands. Well, this group is so close. Everyone can make playoffs, really. I don't think there is any possibility to actually say this team will make playoffs for sure. But if I would have to guess, I would say that it should be the New England Patriots and the Milwaukee Brewers Shadows. That's my guess. But thank you for watching this video, guys, and I will see you next time. Of course, this is a short one, because we only really did 3 teams, but it doesn't really matter. I will see you next time.